So, what does it really take to build a modern empire from the ground up? Well, for Abdul Samad Rabiu, one of Africa's biggest industrialists, the answer is, well, it's not what you'd expect. His story isn't just a masterclass in business strategy, it's an incredible lesson in how you can turn an absolute disaster into a multi-billion-dollar win.
I mean, that's the million-dollar, or in this case, billion-dollar question, isn't it? What is that secret sauce for creating something massive, something that lasts? Is it just getting lucky, or having one brilliant idea, or is there more to it?
Well, here's the twist. Rabiu's empire didn't start with some amazing new invention in a garage. Nope, it started with a family legacy that was already on fire. I mean, literally moments away from being completely wiped out.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're going back to 1980s Nigeria. The whole country is being battered by this brutal economic storm. And this is the crisis that a young Abdul Samad Rabiu is about to walk right into.
So, picture this. He comes back home with a fresh economics degree from the US, probably thinking he's going to join this thriving family business. But instead, what he finds is a company being torn to shreds by forces way outside of its control. See, his father was a well-respected industrialist, but the very ground beneath his business was crumbling.
So, what on earth was going on? Well, Nigeria's economy was in a total freefall. To try and stop the bleeding, the government just slammed the brakes on imports and massively devalued the currency. Now, they were trying to stabilize things, but for businesses like Rabiu's father's, which relied completely on bringing goods into the country, it was an absolute catastrophe. And you can see the ripple effect right here. That national storm basically became a tsunami that flooded their company. Just imagine it for a second. Debts are piling up, the goods you've already paid for are just sitting, stuck at the port, and all the while, banks are knocking on your door, demanding their money back. This wasn't just a tough quarter, this was an extinction-level event for the business.
Now, this is the point where most people would have just thrown in the towel. But this is also where the whole story takes a sharp turn. Faced with complete and total collapse, Rabiu didn't just try to patch up the old business. He decided he was going to build a brand new one from its ashes. This was his stroke of genius. He realized the problem wasn't just his company, it was the entire business model. While everyone else was drowning because they couldn't import anything, he decided to do the complete opposite. Forget importing, he thought. We're going to start producing things right here, inside Nigeria. He turned the country's biggest weakness, its dependence on foreign stuff, into his greatest strength. It was a huge gamble, but it fundamentally changed the entire game.
And that single pivot? It wasn't just a way to stay alive. It was the launchpad for a whole new empire. So how did one strategic decision in the middle of a crisis lead to decades of explosive growth? The results were just staggering. Starting in 1988, he just took that produce locally strategy and applied it everywhere. He jumped into steel, then sugar, then cement. And he wasn't just playing along, he was actively going after and breaking up long-standing monopolies. Every new venture was built on that exact same idea. Why import it when we can make it better? Right here. This wasn't just building a business, it was like industrial nation building.
And this is what that looks like today. BUA Group isn't just one company. It's this sprawling conglomerate that's absolutely essential to Nigeria's economy. We're talking about everything from the cement that builds the cities to the sugar you put on your table.
And what does an empire like that look like on paper? How about $2.5 billion, with a B, in annual revenue? That's the direct result of one counterintuitive decision made in the middle of a national meltdown.
But you know, the story doesn't just end with the financial success. Rabiu's impact and his legacy, they're measured in a lot more than just revenue.
His personal net worth is now over $11 billion, which puts him right up there with the most influential people on the continent. But that makes you wonder, right? What is all that money and power really for?
Well, he invested straight back into the continent. Through huge initiatives like the BUA Foundation and ASR Africa, he's channeling that wealth directly into fixing problems in healthcare, education, and social development. The goal isn't just charity, it's about using his resources to attack the root causes of some of Africa's biggest challenges. And you know, his work has definitely not gone unnoticed. He holds two of Nigeria's absolute highest national honors. And these aren't just medals you hang on the wall. They're the nation's way of officially saying this guy was a key architect of our modern industrial economy. Which, brings us right back to the beginning. Abdul Samad Rabiu inherited a business. Yes, that's true. But what he really inherited was a crisis, a complete mess.
His true genius wasn't in managing what he was given, but in having the vision to see the old way was dead, burn it all down, and build something completely new from the ashes. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is success really defined by your starting point, or by your courage to change the entire map?